What up? What up? What up? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you are now tuned in. Oh, I don't know if that messed up on y'all end, but I apologize for that. My laptop is touchscreen and I must have touched somewhere, might have took out the screen, but your boy is back. Again, thank y'all for y'all continued support to the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. Hit that button. I'm at 758 subscribers. I've been losing the con. I've been losing some as of lately. I guess, some of my takes people don't like, but it is what it is. Can't please everybody. But again, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell so that way, once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification letting you know that your boy has dropped some new content. Like the videos, share the videos, leave a comment if you want. Tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff. This video here, we are off to the semifinals for the WNBA playoffs. But before I do that, before I even give my predictions for the semifinals, I definitely want to shout out the ladies for an amazing first round of WNBA basketball. Definitely got to give them some credit. Definitely got to give them some love. Just amazing. Just amazing. For me, all the rounds were good, even the ones that were over in 2 games, like Minnesota and the Valkyries. Again, I did a live last week. I forgot exactly what day it was. It might have been last Friday because the playoffs started Sunday. I did a live and I gave my prediction for each uh playoff, like each series. And I said that the Valkyrie were going to get swept. What I didn't know was how hard they would play. And they played hard. They basically, listen, that first game, even though they had a good lead, it was only first quarter. So I'm like, okay, Minnesota, they're a little nervous for this, it's playoff time now. They're the number 1 seed. All this pressure is on them to close out the Valkyrie, get to the WNBA finals for a rematch. Okay, they showed they could bleed a little bit in the first round. And as soon as they got it back, that was all she wrote when it came to game 1. Game 2, a whole different aspect. The Valkyrie, that they really wanted to show, we ain't ready to go home yet. We ain't ready to go home yet. And listen, they had a comfortable lead in that second half. And going into the fourth quarter, I think they were up by at least 17 or 15 points, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember the clear as day, most improved player, Veronica Burton, was being interviewed before the start of the fourth quarter. And I'm basically going to paraphrase what she's saying. We gotta stay on them because they're gonna make a run. They're gonna make a run. So she expected them to make a run, and that's exactly what Minnesota did. Like once they started to cut that lead, less and less. I was like, yo, the Valkyrie are in trouble because yes, you're letting them. Yes, they're skimming the lead, but you're not scoring. You're turning the ball over. You're getting shot clock violations. You're missing shots, and then Minnesota is just getting the rebound. And whether Kaylamcbride is hitting buckets or Napheesa is hitting buckets, it's like, yo, y'all letting them back in this game. Like, y'all had y'all foot on their neck. Not to say they was just gonna roll over and die, but y'all had the momentum. But again, this comes with lack of experience. Again, this is an expansion team. So They weren't even supposed to be in this position. Remember, the expansion teams. Expansion teams don't have this impact in their first year. So for them to be able to do it, you got to give them their props. So even though they lost, they have nothing to be ashamed of. And I kept saying that after watching that game. I'm sitting there watching the fans. By the way, they weren't even in Chase Center in San Francisco. They had to play in San Jose. I think it was a scheduling conflict with Chase Center where they normally play. But the fact that their fans traveled to San Jose, I'm not from the Bay. I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. So I don't know the distance from Chase Center to the venue that they played at in game 2, but they fans showed out. They traveled. So that tells you how big this fan base is. And this is probably the best fan base in the league as it pertains to attendance. You know, as far as the best fan base as a whole, of course, the bias in me is going to say New York. But as far as attendance wise, it's the Valkyrie. And again, they have nothing to be ashamed of. You know, again, this is a team who was not even supposed to be here. Okay. They were an 8th seed. They were flirting with a 7th seed. I think the highest they could have gotten is probably 6. Or maybe I'm stretching it. Who knows? But even so, they have nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. 8th seed, expansion team. You got a most improved player out of it, which was Veronica Burton. You got a coach of the year out of it, and Natalie Lacasse. Hopefully I said her last name right. They have nothing to be ashamed of. All they could do is look forward to next season. Kayla Thornton will be back. Hopefully there even will be a season. How about that? But, you know, that's the conversation for another day because obviously they're still, you know, negotiating a new contract for the CBA. So, again, they have nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. The next series, the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm. Again, and that prediction, I said that Seattle would give them a fight. I said Seattle would give them a fight, but the Aces would win straight through. They'll win game 1 and they'll win game 2. What I didn't know was that this would go all 3 games. I did not think that. I didn't think that at all. But listen, more basketball for me, so I'm okay with it. But game 2, Nneka Onwumike and Skylar Diggins, they definitely showed why we hold them to a regard that we do. Like, listen, with the Aces, obviously we know Ajawilson is the best player in the league. Okay, let's just call it what it is. You know, I don't think this is a debate anymore, and I'm gonna speak a little bit more on that as it pertains to this. But to have them go to Seattle, which we knew they was going to fight at home, for them to snap the Aces, I guess you could say 16 or 17 game winning streak dating back to August 2nd, for them to be able to finish that and force a game 3, and then for it to be so close, like, listen, me personally, I'm glad the Aces had to deal with that because for them to have that 16, 17 game winning streak, for me, it's like y'all wasn't even tested. Hence to why y'all had that winning streak to begin with. So how about y'all be in a situation where your season is on the line, all this hard work that you done put in towards the latter end of the season, and then to possibly get eliminated. Let's see how y'all respond to it. And listen, if it wasn't for Ajawilson, they would have lost that game. Like, Ajawilson had, I think, 36 or 38 points. They needed every bit of it. Every bit of it. Now, granted, Jackieyoung hit the walk-off shot, you could say, when Asia, you know, tried to pull up and miss, and Jackieyoung was literally under the rim by herself. Like, there was no defender on her. and she just tapped it in. She jumped up and tapped it in. And, Seattle had a possession and nothing came out of it. But yeah, they needed every bit of that Wilson performance in order for them to win this game. But I will say this, though. As much as I want to give much deserved flowers to Nneka Onwuemeka and Skylar Diggins, who knows? Maybe their shooting performance was the reason why they lost. They both of them shot horrible from the field. Both of them. I believe both of them shot 4 for 13 from the field in game 3. So had they shot them better, would they have pulled the upset? Who knows? Who knows? But again, Joel Lloyd, she got her revenge on her former team. She got her revenge on Skylar Diggins because obviously, it's been some drama alleged between them two. She's advancing. Seattle's going home. And then, let's see what happens with Seattle. There's been rumblings about, Noelle Quinn might be losing her job. I don't think she should. I think if Seattle wouldn't have missed I think if Seattle would have missed the playoffs, then you could say they need a new coach. But I like Coach Quinn, and I hope that she stays with Seattle. I like the Seattle team. Obviously, Skylar Diggins, Nneka Onwuemeka, the addition to Erica Wheeler, because she balled out in these playoffs as well. I love me some Gabby Williams. Like listen, I know I had Elena Smith as my defensive player of the year. Gabby was my runner-up. She was my runner-up. There was times she was my leading candidate, but I got blinded with the wins and loss thing. But I'm like, wait, this is an individual thing. But anyway, still love you, Gabby Williams. But listen, that Seattle team, if they can keep this unit together, and then the emergence of their Dominique Malonga from France, she's a baller as well. So if they can somehow keep this team together, Seattle is going to be a force in the foreseeable future. Definitely. The next series was the Indiana Fever and, well, the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever, because I'm doing highest to lowest. That's how I'm calling it. Listen, I said that this series will go all 3 games. And I also said that Atlanta would win. I said they will defend home court. They'll win game 1. They'll lose game 2 in Indiana. And then they'll come back to the A for game 3 and they'll win. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Kelsey Mitchell, listen, it was just reported that she is a candidate for MVP. We know she's not going to win it. Let's just get that out the way. We know she's not going to win it. It's between Asia, Lafisa, and Alyssathomas. But the fact that she's in the conversation alone tells you what she's done for this team while Caitlinclark's been hurt. Because listen, me and a couple of my other people, shout out to my man K-Sap, Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, and his crew, Bro Claude, Keisha, Duvall, Simply Ballin' Network. We kind of all on the same accord with Kelsey Mitchell is their best player. It's not Caitlinclark, it's Kelsey Mitchell. She's their closer, and she has proven that in these playoffs. Hell, she's been proving it this season, hence to why she's in the MVP conversation. But for Indiana, again, I did not pick them to win this series. I thought Atlanta would just be too tall and too physical for them. But the X factor was Ryan Howard, who made horrible shooting decisions in game 3. You can make a case that, again, I don't want to throw no accusations on her, but you can make a case that she threw this game for Indiana. The way she was shooting, just horrible. And I don't understand why they're not using Brittany to her advantage. with that height advantage that she has, come on, man. Now, I get it. She's not the BG of old, but it ain't like she's chopped liver either. You know, aliyahboston, you know she going to get her buckets. Brianna Jones, you know she going to get her buckets. But those two factors that I just mentioned as it pertains to Ryan Howard and Brittany Griner and them not utilizing her, I think that's the reason why they lost this series. I think that's the reason why they lost this series. And for Indiana to be able to move on to the semifinals, listen, I got to say it. I got to bring it up. I would not be myself if I didn't mention it. Them making the semifinals without Caitlin-Clark, that's ringing bells. Trust me when I tell you it's ringing bells. Because remember, they made the playoffs last year with her, and they got swept in the first round by the Connecticut Sun. They were in the same position. They were a 6 seed, lost in the first round to the Connecticut Sun. We move up the next year, and she's out for the season, and Indiana is advancing to the semifinals while she's on that bench watching. It's ringing bells. It's ringing. They don't want to talk about it, though. They don't want to talk about it, though. But this, to me, this puts a little dent on her legacy, if you say, because everybody was calling you this GOAT, which I don't understand why they was doing it, but they was calling you this. You're the best thing since sliced bread. You're the best player in the WNBA, which we know is bullshit. But the point is that they are winning without you. They're winning without you. That puts a dent on your legacy. But I did also say this, and I said this after the game. I didn't even say this in my prediction video. I said this in conversation to a friend. I said if Indiana somehow gets to the WNBA Finals, do not be surprised if Caitlin-Clark does not play. But then, you know, people was hitting me up and they were saying that how she's not on the active roster. Like, I think you have to have an active roster lined up for the playoffs, and she's not on it. So it'll probably be impossible for her to play. But again, the WNBA do their own shit. So who knows? But again, it would be fun. It would be fun for her to be there. But then a part of me is saying to myself, listen, part of me want her to be there. Part of me don't want her to be there. You know, but again, they made it this far. And they got it without her. That got to tell you something. That's got to tell you something. I really hope that next season, she's going to have to change her game. She's going to have to change her game. Them logo threes that she be doing, she's going to have to make an adjustment. Like, if they can keep this team together, because remember, I think Kelsey-Mitchell is a free agent. It ain't a short thing that she's staying in Indiana. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's say that she does stay. Caitlin-Clark is going to have to change her game. All that shit that she was familiar with doing in junior high school and college in Iowa, she's going to have to change her game. Her trying to be this ball dominant, logo shooting threes, she going to have to cut that shit. This should be an eye opener for her. Like, yo, I got to change my game because look how they're playing without me. Now, I know her fans ain't going to want to hear that, but, you know, it is what it is. Her Clarkies, that's what it is. Clarkies, because I'm a fan of hers. I'm a Caitlin-Clark fan, but I'm not a Clarkie. And that's the difference. But yes, Indiana moves on. Atlanta goes home. To be the third seed and to choke it away, horrible. Horrible. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. And then the last series, the Phoenix Mercury and the New York Liberty. Now, listen, I said this in my live last Friday. I said, if the Liberty was to win this series, They got to get game one. They got to get game one. They got game one, but they got it at a steep price. They got game one, but at the end of that game, Stewie hurt her knee. She caught an and one. And when she scored the basket, she went to the floor and just held her knee. And you could just hear the building silent, even though it was in Phoenix. But you could just, yeah. I was like, oh no, like, please, please, no knee injury, please. It was a knee injury, but it wasn't on the knee where she had surgery. But still, Stewie's getting up there in age. Let's just call it what it is. She's getting up there in age. Her knees are not as elite as they were before. Both of them, for that matter. Right? So now, as we get to game two, I'm like, they got to get this game. They got to get game two. Because you don't even want Stewie to even be traveling for game three back to Phoenix. You got to finish this at home. Not only did the Liberty lose game two, they got their ass handed to them. Ass handed to them. Phoenix beat shit down their leg in game two. They wanted to send a message to them. Alyssathoma, Satousabally, that Phoenix team wanted to send New York a message. This series is not over. And see, I'm not going to be one of them people that gives Stewie a pass. Oh, she had a knee injury, so that's why she didn't play well. No, when you're on that court, you're deemed healthy. I know she was a game time decision and all of that, but you chose to play. So since you chose to play, I expect you to show up. Nobody from the Liberty showed up. Nobody. Stewie didn't show up. Sabrina didn't show up. John Quell didn't show up. Listen, I'm not even done with John Quell yet, but yeah, nobody on that Liberty team. Well, Mieseman showed up. Let me say that. I mean, what, 10, 12 points? I ain't saying much, but she scored more for everybody on that team. But yeah. And then we get to game three, which was yesterday. And again, like I said, in order for the Liberty to win this series, they was going to have to win game one and close it in two. Do not let this series go back to Phoenix. Once they did that, I knew they were in trouble. And that's exactly what happened because Phoenix is advancing. But listen, Alyssathoma, triple-double. I think that's her 9th of the season, if you include playoffs. Just an exceptional player, just an amazing player. Like, me personally, I think she's definitely MVP worthy. Let's just get that out the way. She's definitely MVP worthy. I think with her is, we know she's going to crash buckets. I mean, we know she's going to crash the boards. And we know she's going to get the dimes. She damn near averaged 10 assists in a season. If she could get her points up, like, okay, this closeout game, I think she had, what, 21 points? Let's check right now. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. This closeout game here. This closeout game. What she had? She had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. Now, she was to somehow be able to average 20 points in a season and have almost a triple-double or even a double-double for average in a season, she'll get MVP. She'll get MVP. Like if her numbers was this level right now, where she averaged 20 a game, 11 rebounds a game, and almost 10 assists a game, she should get MVP. But I honestly think it's Asia's award. I honestly believe it's Asia's award. Definitely. But back to this series. The Liberty lost this series for 2 reasons. And it's gonna hurt me to say this, but I just gotta keep it real. Like, I'm the Hood's ESPN. I gotta keep it real. They lost this series because of John Quell Jones. That's number one. Yes, she won Finals MVP last year when the Liberty won the championship. Yes, she won Finals MVP. Aside from game 1, game 2, she was horrible. Last night, she was worse. Now, mind you, this is a closeout game. This is win or go home. There is no tomorrow. In the words of Apollo Creed to Rocky, there is no tomorrow. You lose this game and your season is over. You played 33 minutes. It's 40 minutes in the game. So for 7 minutes, you sat on the bench. And for 33 minutes, you only produced 8 points and you shot 1 for 10 from the field and you shot 0 for 5 from the three-point line. And this is the reigning defending Finals MVP we're talking about. And this is the performance that you put out. You're definitely the reason why the Liberty went home. You're the absolute reason why they went home. There's no denying that. Stewie, on one leg, had 30 points. Sabrina, who started cooking in the second half, 22 points. Sabrina, listen to me, and I love you. You're one of my favorite players in the W. You're probably in my top 5, right? Off the top of my head, I would say Asia, Nafeesa, Caitlinclark, Angel Reese, probably Sabrina's in my top 5. And then Stewie will probably crack my 6, right? Then NECA, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't name everybody right now, but this shooting from the three-point line. We talk about Caitlinclark with these logo threes. You don't do logo threes. You have a habit of doing them, but just your three-point shooting as a whole. 3 for 12 from the three-point line, Sabrina, come on. Not good. Not good. Not good. That's too many times. Like, if I shoot 4 threes and they ain't going in, my job is to now drive to the basket, draw some fouls, get in the lane, get in the cup, and just score. If I'm shooting all those threes and they're not going in, I'm not going to keep shooting them. I'm not. Now, the other reason why they lost, aside from Phoebich, who was inconsistent all season, Natasha Cloud didn't play well, who was, again, when the season first started, I said that she was probably the best off-season acquisition. She didn't show up. Another reason why they lost this series, and I hate to do it because I love her as a coach. I respect her as a coach, but Sandy Brondello, you got to come to the front. You got to come to the front. You have a bench that you did not use in this game. Again, you had Jonquel Jones, who was not producing nothing in this game. You mean to tell me that you couldn't put somebody in there for her? Granted, you had Misaman. She didn't even play that much. She only played 9 minutes. But she can't get up and down the court like that anyway. Like, she's past her prime. She's slow as shit, respectfully. But don't Satousabally have a sister that's on the Liberty bench? Nayaya, Nayaya, I think that's her name. Hopefully, I'm saying her first name right, because I definitely don't want to muffle it. I love the little sister. I love the little sister, but I get that she's injury prone and all of that. But in this situation, when Jonquel is not producing, that should have been your moment to put her in this game. Rebecca Gardner, she only played 1 minute. Izzy Harrison didn't play at all. Marie Johannes didn't play at all. So you didn't use your bench at all in this game. That's the reason why you lost. 79-73 was the score. And again, listen, I want to give Phoenix their props. Like, it's deserving. Satu, love me some Satousabally. KLC, Kalia Copper, for y'all that don't know. Love her as well. Love her since she was in Chicago with Candace Parker. Alissathoma, you already know how I feel about that. But yeah, the better team won. The better team won, and Sandy Brondello got outcoached. And it's ironic that it's to the team that she used to coach, which is Phoenix. Poetic justice for your ass. But yes, those are all, that's basically the breakdown from the first round. And now we get to the semifinals. And I'm not going to be on here for this long because now it's just prediction time and then I can bounce. We have the Minnesota Lynx against the Phoenix Mercury in the semifinals. And now this is the semifinals. So now the format changes. It's no longer a best of 3. Now it's a best of 5. I have the Minnesota Lynx closing this out in 4 games. I say the Minnesota Lynx close this series out in 4 games. I say Minnesota wins their 2 at home. I say Phoenix wins game 3. And then I say Minnesota closes them out in 4. That's my prediction. I look forward to the alisathomas napheesacollier matchup. I look forward to that. I really do. I look forward to the Courtneywilliams and Kalia Copper matchup. I look forward to that. So yes, I have the Lynx playing, well, we already know they're playing them, but I have the Lynx beating the Mercury in 4 games to advance to the WNBA Finals. The next matchup, we have the Aces and the Indiana Fever. I have the Aces winning this in 4 games as well. I respect Indiana enough to say that they will get one of their games at home. So if you put the pieces together, I think that Indiana and Phoenix are going home the same day because I think both of these games will be played on the same day. The playoffs start, the matchups start tomorrow. The semifinals start tomorrow. So I think it's what? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You get a day off or whatever. So I think that the Lynx and the Aces will be winning their games in the same respectable manner. They will defend home court. They will hold court. They will hold set. They will win both of their home games. They will lose game 3. And then they will close out the Mercury and the Fever in game 4. And then we bring on the matchup in the WNBA Finals. That's what my prediction is. Now, granted, even though I had the Dream moving on and I had the Liberty moving on, as long as I still get the Lynx and the Aces in the WNBA Finals, I'm all good. I need both of them to be in the finals. I need both of them. But before I go, I want to give a congratulations to Ajawilson and Alana Smith. Alana Smith, I think that's her name. Hopefully I'm not muffling it. Co-defensive player of the year. Now, I don't know, but in my 39 years of living, but you can't even count that. In my 34 years of watching sports, I've never heard of a co-defensive player of the year. Now, I've heard co-MVPs before. Steve McNair, Peyton Manning won MVP in the NFL. Grant Hill and Jason Kidd won a co-rookie of the year in 1995. So that, yes, I believe that has happened. Shaq and Kobe won a co-MVP for an all-star game. Shaq and Tim Duncan have won a co-MVP for an All-Star game, but never a co-MVP or co-defensive player of the year. Never heard that one before. But shout out to both of them. Yeah, shout out to both of them. And listen, this is how you know Asia didn't give a shit. Her parents received the award on her behalf. Like, they basically honored her at tip-off, and Asia was in the layup line, and her parents was receiving the award for her. So that tells you she didn't give two shits about that award because it was a co-defensive player of the year award. And both coaches are going back and forth. Like, they are, like, both coaches are defending their player on why they think they should have won it. Like, I love the banter between Becky Hammond and Cheryl Reeve. More of a reason on why I want this matchup in the WNBA Finals. But there you have it. I have the Aces and the Lynx moving on to the WNBA Finals. With that being said, it's a wrap for this video. Thank y'all for y'all continued support. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. I know y'all might hear some noise in the background. Catch y'all on the flip side. Again, subscribe to the channel, Sportsway with Dre Day Podcast. Hit that notification bell so that way once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. In closing, y'all know how this goes. This has been another video of Sportsway with Dre Day Podcast. Catch y'all on the flip side. God bless. Peace and love. Your boy is out of here. Peace.